and welcome to Working with Tradition, Soft Skills. In this webinar, we are learning advanced skills needed to be successful at work and get along with difficult coworkers. Today, we're going to learn a step-by-step method for expressing a legitimate concern or complaint to someone at work. We'll begin by learning about different types of difficult coworkers you may meet in the workplace. Then, we'll learn the 5 steps to expressing ourselves in a calm and professional way. And finally, we will close with our key points and closing statements.
Now, do you find it hard to get along with some people in your workplace? That no matter what you do, some people just always seem to get underneath your skin, that it often makes you dread going to work? Well, today we are going to talk about that because the truth is, sometimes we're going to have to be around people we don't like, and whining and complaining about it will only make it worse. So I'm going to help you get over the resisting part and get you to become a master of your work relationships. Because if you don't know, true success and fulfillment in life is about mastering the relationships around you, even if they are the ones that are most difficult. So let's get straight into it. Here are 4 types of people you'll have to deal with within your workplace. Number 1, the woe is me. This person loves to complain about everything. He or she truly believes life is out to get them. They will be the ones severely complaining about why the grocery store didn't use their $1 off coupon, or, just to the complaining at work because they got a workload that they shouldn't have gotten. How you deal with a woe is me is you just deal with them by not feeling their disdain for life. When you cater to that behavior, they will always come to you to vent because you then become their audience. The woe is me is all about the drama, and drama needs an audience, so don't be their audience. Instead, lead by example. Direct the conversation to one that is more neutral or by setting clear boundaries with them. For example, Susie, I'm so sorry your day isn't going well, but for the time being, I'd rather talk about things that will make our time worthwhile. Number 2, the click keeper. This person is the opposite of a team player. Instead, he or she, mostly she, creates their own clique, and you are either in it or not. This person has stuck with the high school model of how relationships should be and makes it very hard for you to feel good about yourself if you aren't in their group.
You're wearing sweatpants. It's Monday.
So?
So that's against the rules, and you can't sit with us.
Whatever. Those rules aren't real.
They were real that day I wore a vest.
Because that vest was disgusting.
You can't sit with us!
This group will be more than likely to be the gossipers on the team, as gossip needs company, and their group is perfect company. How do you deal with a clique keeper? Play Switzerland and be a neutral party. You don't have to be a part of anyone's group. You doing you in the most friendly and caring way possible will send a message that you are not one to be pulled into a clique or gossip. People, no matter what personality or work, will respect that. And should they try to pull you in it, nonchalantly and politely change the subject to direct them to something the team can work on together instead. Number 3, the grumpy cat. This person is very unapproachable and often an energy sucker. If you have to work closely with them, you probably find it to be a drag because you may feel there's nothing you can do to get them out of their mood. But guess what? It's not your responsibility to change anyone's mood. Your responsibility is to manage your own mood. So, with that said, don't take their behavior personally. You can always set boundaries when you need to if they cross lines, but like I said before, when you focus on you and what you can give to the team, it makes it hard for anyone to disrespect that. Number 4, the opportunist. This person will show up as a friend, but will take full advantage of opportunities, even if it means throwing you under the bus. Just when you thought you could confide in this person, he or she is telling the boss everything you thought was a secret. This person may also be the star of the team, and in doing so, may dim others' lights being buddies with the boss. Now, I don't want you to be guarded and feel like you can't trust anyone because of this, but how you deal with an opportunist is like this. First, don't say anything that could compromise your job. Definitely don't let them dim your light, but also don't try to compete with them, because most of the time, an opportunist gets themselves into compromising situations, and that's just not something you want to be dragged into. Okay, my lovelies, there you have it. Those are the 4 types of people that you may be working with and kind of how to deal with them. Remember, the only person you can ever control is yourself. So be sure to set clear boundaries, but don't take the behaviors of others personally. It takes a long time for people to develop behavior, so don't worry, it's not about you. But we do have to deal with people we don't necessarily like often, and the best way to do this is just to manage our own behaviors and our emotions first. Does that sound good?
Many times we go into stressful situations or difficult discussions with others, overpowered by our emotions and taking things too personally. We make situations worse instead of better because we don't know how to say what we feel without escalating things. The point of learning these next steps is to get something off your chest, but to do it in a professional way that helps the other person understand what you want or need. Some specific situations where you might need to be able to express a concern or complaint in a professional way may be if a coworker has made a number of uncomfortable comments that you cannot ignore, or coworkers consistently borrowing your things without asking first. There are 5 steps to expressing a concern, and let's read through them briefly, then we'll go over them in more detail. Step 1. Stop and think. Be sure you're calm and thinking clearly before addressing the problem. Give the other person time to calm down as well. Step 2. Ask to talk. Pick a good time, a private place, and be polite. If the time isn't right, wait or ask for a better one. Step 3. Explain without blame. Explain the problem without blaming the other person or demanding an immediate solution. Simply describe what happened and how it is affecting you. Step 4. Ask for help. First, state your goal of working it out. Then, ask for the other person's help understanding or solving the problem. Listen to their ideas, offer your own, and find an agreeable solution. And step 5. End positively. End on a good note if possible. If not, at least be professional. Applying the skill. So when we go over these next steps in more detail, I want you to think of a time when you have had a legitimate concern or complaint at either work, at school, maybe just in your life where you have to have a difficult conversation with another person. Some work examples would be you have asked for time off but haven't heard back yet, or your coworker is constantly borrowing things without asking first. Step 1. Stop and think. Step 1 is the stop and think 3-step, which we've already learned. Be quiet, calm down, and think positively. What emotions come out when you are stressed? What survival mode do you slip into? Fight, flight, or freeze when you are stressed about a situation? Step 2 is ask to talk. This means picking the right time and place and then politely asking for a chance to talk with a person. Try not to go into detail until you're sure the time is right. Just ask to talk. So if you want to talk to your boss about a certain problem, Friday at 4 p.m. is probably not a great time. Or if they're in a meeting, that's probably not a great time to try to start a conversation with them. Asking to talk is a good start to addressing the problem that you want to talk with your boss. Explain without blame. Explain the problem without blaming the other person or demanding an immediate solution. Be sure you are calm and thinking clearly. Then choose a good time, place to talk. Next, explain what's going on and how it's honestly affecting you. You can do that, explain problems without accusation or blame by simply introducing what you want to talk about, the situation, just the facts of the situation, and the effects, how it is honestly affecting you. In page 59 of your workbook, this shows they have an excellent example of how to phrase this so it sounds natural. One example: Marie's kids have a day off school and are at home with her teenage sister. The kids have called several times this morning complaining they have nothing to do. Marie stays calm and calls her sister at lunch. Okay. Sis. Introduction. Sis, I need to talk with you about the calls I'm getting. The kids have called 5 times a day complaining they're bored. Situation. To be honest, I'm getting some looks from my boss. I'm worried I'm going to get in trouble if they keep bothering me. Effects. Let's do another one. John works for a landscaping company. He doesn't ask for many favors, but his son's last basketball game is coming up, and John doesn't want to disappoint him. He has to get off a little early Friday afternoon, but it's been 2 days and he hasn't heard back from his supervisor, James, yet. Step 2. Ask to talk. Boss, can I see you when you have a minute? Step 3. Explain without blame. Introduction. I want to ask you about my time off request. My situation: my son's last game is Friday and I haven't heard back from you about it yet. Effects. I don't want to put you in a bad spot, but I don't want to let him down either. We'll get more practice with this step in a few minutes, then we'll put it all together. Step 4. Ask for help. After explaining your situation, you may be tempted to tell the other person exactly what you want them to do. Instead, step 4 is to ask for help. Begin by stating a goal of working it out, then ask for their help resolving the problem. Gives the person a chance to explain and lets you take the problem to the next level if possible. Here are some good things to say when asking for help. I really want to get along here. Can you help me understand what's going on? I'd like to work this out. What can we do to fix this? I want to be sure we are on the same page. Can you understand where I'm coming from? Asking for help also makes this situation not just your own problem, but a problem for both of you to solve. It becomes a team effort. And step 5, end positively. Step 5 is to end positively. Try to end the meeting positively and professionally, if at all possible. This leaves a good impression if things work out well, or at least makes you out to be the better person if things didn't work out as planned. So if you do not respond in a way that you had hoped, even just ending professionally leaves you in a better position. Working the steps. So on your workbook, page 60, I'd like you to look over the character stories and give a help and take some time to help out 2 of our characters using these steps. And that's your homework after this. The main point is that it's tempting to slip into a fight, flight, or freeze survival mode in a difficult work situation like these. But with the right skills, expressing our concerns doesn't have to be so upsetting or stressful. Today, we've learned how to express a concern when we're upset about something at work. We've learned how important it is to stay calm and use clear explanations instead of accusations. In our next lesson, we will learn one final advanced skill: logical decision making. Finally, our key points. Expressing our concerns calmly helps others understand what we need from them without making a difficult situation worse. It takes a great deal of composure and self-control to do this well. It is hard to express a concern without sounding defensive. Doing it professionally increases the chance that we will be heard and possibly even get what we want. In closing, what is the one thing you learned in this class that you will remember after leaving? Thank you.